batch people and Angular people, both we are going to be covering. So for both of you, it is going to be a very helpful. So you will get a end-to-end implementation of a real-time project. So leave about it technology side. So that may be a Spring Boot, that may be Node.js, that may be Angular, that doesn't matter. At least you will get an overview. So like a UI to backend, how you are going to be communicating from a backend to UI, what you are going to be communicating, what is the components you are going to be considering. So technologies doesn't matter there. If you take any technology, it's all about the syntax. If you know the syntax, you are going to be working. But if you know those core grounds, you can happily work with any technology. So here, for our convenient, as because we are in a more inclined towards the Java and the Angular, I pick up the Java as a backend technology and Angular as a UI technology I picked up, and database I'm taking the MySQL. So what we are going to be working today is we are developing a consignment management application here. So generally, consignment management means it is nothing but whenever you're purchasing a lot of things in e-commerce applications. So in e-commerce application, what will happen is those e-commerce website will not manage this delivery partners. So you are having some kind of a e-cart delivery partner, so on. So e-cart delivery partners are having. So just I'm taking that as an example. Ultimately, it's a CRUD application only, but giving some kind of a fancy name like a consignment management like that. But it's a kind of a CRUD application only. So here we'll take some consignment management application. So you can consider kind of a product inventory management application or user inventory management applications, that your choice. We are giving some kind of a fancy name like a consignment management application. So here what we are doing is we need two tabs we are going to be taking. So first one is a consignment and a customers. So as a consignment manager, I have a capability to see the both how many consignments I'm having. Consignment is nothing but a order here. If you are having the single product, that will call it the order. But B2B, business to business, they will going to be purchased in a bulk manner. In that bulk manner, we'll call that as a consignment. So let us say Chennai to Bangalore consignment is a shipped. So that's what. Let us say 10 electronics products you are having. So those 10 electronics products consignment was shipped. So this is integral part of the supply chain management system. I just taken from one of my previous project. So there I'm going to be giving. So in a supply chain management, this is one of the module. So we are going to be doing that is a consignment management. So we are taking the two tabs. One is a consignment management customers. Consignment management is going to be show all the consignments, nothing but what are the orders today we need to deliver. That's it is going to be showing. The second one is customers. So for which customer, what is the consignment he placed and what is the status of that one. So this is the two simple tabs we will take. Ultimately, it is a CRUD application only. So consignment CRUD applications, customer CRUD applications we are going to be taking. Technical details, what we are doing is every time there is a two things you need to consider here. Whenever it is a scratch project, think from the database side. That is the best way to develop any kind of a project. In my 9 years of experience career, I worked with a lot of migration projects. I worked a lot of scratch projects. I worked. So currently, as a solution architect, I'm designing the projects also. Any kind of a scratch project, always think from the database side. So we need to start from the database side if it is a scratch project. Why? Because ultimately data is the important. UI level is just it's a presentation. Backend, if you are taking some kind of a Java or any technology, those are related to the something called as a processing. But data is important. So in a scratch project, if you want to get a clear-cut overview, when you have a potential knowledge on a data, then you can easily develop your project. So that's the reason always try to think from the database side if it is a scratch project. Remember, underline my word. If it is a scratch project, you need to think from the database side. Suppose if it is a migration project, let us say already some project is there. We are having a .NET project. We want to migrate to the Java, or we need to migrate to the Python. Then think from the UI side, because migration project, if you go for the database side, that will unnecessarily give some kind of a complications. So that's the reason migration projects you need to think from the UI side. Scratch projects you need to think from the database side. So this is a blind note. So generally people is going to be considered in a real-time industry also. Scratch projects always will start from the database side. Why? Because once we have that data schema, based upon the data schema, we can easily mold our services like a backend services or in a UI front-end designing also, we can easily migrate. So this is the key line you need to remember. Scratch project means think from the database side, which means start from the database side. So migration project means you need to think from the UI side. So currently we are migrating or we are developing a project, scratch or migration?
Scratch.
Obviously it is a scratch only. So that's the reason we are going to be starting from the database side. So technical view, database, anyone have a choices? I'm taking the MySQL. Any objections or anyone don't like MySQL?
See, it depends on client, right? How can we decide ourselves?
Here we are the client, we can decide, no issue.
Okay. For this project you are talking, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I thought of that. It's a company kind of thing. How we can decide ourselves? Okay.
MySQL is fine.
For
I
this
just
workshop,
joined. I'm really sorry for that.
for this workshop, I cannot find any client. So sorry for that. Next time I will find a client and I will go with according to them. Yeah. So I'm picking up the MySQL. Raviteja, it's too late. You choose the very late. I already choose the MySQL. So you choose the Oracle, but I already choose the MySQL. Okay. So we are taking the MySQL. Even if you ask Oracle, also currently a bit difficult. I don't have a Oracle in my system. I need to again install. I have a MySQL only. It's like I'm showing you only one finger, pick up two choices. So yeah, database, I'm taking the MySQL, and middleware, I'm taking something called as Spring Boot I'm taking. So that is nothing but the API management, so developing an API, nothing but the data manipulation, everything I'm taking the Spring Boot I'm taking. Otherwise, my Spring Boot people is going to be upset. If I take any other Node.js, Harsha, you are the only one encouraged me towards that take a Spring Boot. So I'm just taking the Spring Boot only. So by using the Spring Boot, we are going to be processing the data. I mean, creating, updating everything. We are developing the APIs tier. So REST APIs we are going to be developing. And UI wise, I'm taking the Angular. So basically, earlier we thought to the React, but we are having a lot of votes for the Angular. So I'm just taking the Angular. It's just a story, but actually I'm taking Angular only. No React, only Angular. So Angular I'm taking. So UI said Angular I'm taking. So this is our technical skeleton. And on top of this, definitely whenever you are going to be working with any kind of application, the major core part is authentication. So authentication, your choice. I will give it two things. Suppose if you have a bit knowledge, basic authentication we are having, OAuth 2 authentication we are having. So which you want to go? Basic or OAuth 2?
Better to go to OAuth 2 only.
OAuth.
Why better? Because it's a fancy, right?
No, it's not a fancy kind of thing. Usually in industry, everybody is using JWT token basically. OAuth 2 is also, it's an updated one. We thought of that. Nobody is not using basic, right?
Still using basic authentication. It's not about nobody using. There are the basic authentication these days, but there is a necessity. That's the reason. Unnecessarily, sometimes because of the fancy words, we'll go for that one. So when you need a stateless authentication, so now we are in a distributed environment. So we are not in a monolithic applications, microservice application. So we need to share our authentication also. Every time asking for the session, every time managing the session, it's a little bit difficult. And that's where it's better to go for the OAuth 2. So that a clean description we are going to be giving in a Spring Security segment. But here I'm just giving the overview. It's not the thing, this is bad, this is the good, not like that. Based upon the requirement, when you have a monolithic application, you don't need to share your authentication with the third-party applications. Your all components belonging to your environment only. There's no third-party integrations. Better to go for the basic authentication without avoiding unnecessary complication, without keeping unnecessary complications. When your application is interacting with the third-party applications, there is a necessity to share the authentication. Like you are having the, you want to give a feasibility. For example, you are taking the YouTube. You can log in with the Gmail. Now YouTube sharing its authentication with the Gmail. So that kind of requirement, if you are having, if you really need to share your authentication, then go for the OAuth 2. So as because everyone voted for the OAuth 2, authentication, I'm going for the OAuth 2 I'm taking. So Spring Security OAuth 2 with a JWT I'm taking. Here also, in our OAuth 2, we are having the different kind of tokens we are having there. JWT tokens we are having, opaque token we are having, ID token we are having. I'm taking the OAuth 2 JW2 segment, that to bearer token I'm taking. So OAuth 2 bearer token I'm taking. So bearer is a just I can say it's a tokenizer. It's a delimiter you can consider. There is nothing specification about the bearer. All JW tokens is the bearer tokens only, but slight difference is there. So we are having the three types of tokens we are having. So these are JWT tokens, ID tokens, opaque tokens. So depending upon our requirement. So we are using something called as a very high algorithmic applications, opaque tokens we will go. Those are the shorthand for your JWT. Commercial licenses we need to purchase for that. So authentication, I'm picking this one. So OAuth 2 with a bearer token. So this is the authentication we are taking. So this is our technical agenda. Backend MySQL I'm taking, middleware Spring Boot, frontend Angular. So here I'm based upon our feasibility, we are going to be spending a bit of time on that everything, but I will try to compensate as much as possible. For example, first I will pick up the consignment module. If a consignment module itself completed, so in the subject of the time, maybe we cannot able to go to the customer. So then at least one full-fledged consignment application we are going to be developing. If it time permits, then I'm going to be, it's all about replicating the code. You will take another new tab and you will go to the customers, not more than that. So that's where, and I'm taking, let us quickly jump into the technical. So let us take this. So one good thing is you no need to design the schema, skeletons, everything in a database set, because we are in the Spring data. So Spring data have a capability to create all your tables. So then we are going to be taking that one. So let us pick some. Yeah, I'm taking the desktop. Some name like a workspace. So I'm keeping the weekend workshop.
This workshop could be only today or it's continuing process?
No, only
until
today.
this complete.
Only today.
Okay. How many hours?
2.5 hour target is.
Okay. This is mostly cloud APIs we are going to design, right? In backend as well as Angular also.
Right.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yep. So I'm just taking the one Spring Starter project. So let's say consignment. So I'm picking Maven. So Java 11 I'm having in my system. So good. And I'm taking the 2.7.16 or 17. So I will take a 16, 17. Because this need the above 3.2.0, we need to add a Java 14, those things we need. One dependency web I'm taking, definitely we need. And any suggestions? Definitely, I want to work with the database. I'm taking the Spring. Data I'm taking. Data JPI I'm taking.
MySQL driver.
Exactly. MySQL driver.
DevTools.
DevTools not required for there.
Database.
Unnecessarily, hard reload. I'm not expecting anything. So because every time it is going to be loading.
Database.
Spring security.
H2Y, already we are using the MySQL, right?
Okay.
Security. Lombok dev tools.
Security we will add a later. Spring security will add a later. First we'll develop a plain CRUD application, then we will add the authentication. Then you will get to know, because now itself if you add the Spring security, you need to activate the authentications, all those things. And so that's unnecessarily little bit early stages, don't go for that complication. So this is sufficient, and
Validator, sir. Validator.
that don't required.
Okay.
So that's everything we'll discuss in a Spring Boot actual.
You didn't take Spring Boot 3?
I took a Spring 2.7.
Okay.
Why is there any specific reason for we are going to back version?
That is a stable version, and my system having the Java 11 version, so that's where I'm taking 2.7.6.
Okay.
So, yeah. So let us finish. All right, so this is our application. Let us check. And meanwhile, what I will do is, so let us go to our desktop, weekend workshop. I will generate a Spring one application also, one UI application also. Here I will create a new folder. Parallelly, consignment UI. So let us generate. Any help? New project. Spring Boot people are remaining silent, and Angular people also remaining silent.
NG new.
I think
We don't have idea.
No, I am asking. My batch people is there. My Spring Boot batch people is there, and Angular batch people is there. And just Friday we completed. I mean, yesterday we completed 2 batches. Yeah.
Okay.
So NG new. I will take a consignment app. So application name is the consignment app. So I'm just taking this one. Do we need a routing or not?
Yes.
Yes, it is required.
Yes, we need.
Okay. Going for the CSS. Going for the regular CSS, but I will going to be add a bootstrap also for our convenient. So I will show that one also, how we are going to be adding the bootstrap.
Okay.
Sir, Harsha sir,
Yes.
currently I'm learning a React, sir. Who knowledge on React, Angular will be easier or difficult?
Angular and React core concept is a component based only here. That's all about depending upon the application. But React is a library. It's a UI library to frequently manage your reactive based data. Then you're in the reactive. Angular is a framework. So there is a comparison is there. So this is not the time we are discussing that comparisons, all those things, because we need to give a lot of justifications for that.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can we integrate Angular with Spring Boot and microservices?
That's what we are doing now.
Okay, sir.
sir, here we have any compatibility for Boot 3 and Angular, this particular version we need to use, like?
If we have that kind of a compatibility, there is no meaning of a microservices. The main purpose of the microservice is the interoperability. Irrespective of the framework, irrespective of the platform, irrespective of the programming language, your service must have to communicate with any third-party application. The right question is Spring Boot and the Java version compatibility we need to take care. But
Yeah,
third-party
that we know,
application,
sir, actually.
yeah. So third-party
Boot
application,
minimum
we don't need to
17 it
bother.
will required.
Yeah, Spring Boot 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harsha, actually, yesterday I'm getting some linkage error. Why that a linkage error got? Any reason specific?
Linkage error where?
In the Spring Boot, we are in the Spring Boot. We are using Java 17 in Spring Boot 3 plus version we are using. We are getting that error.
In your STS or?
STS only. In the deploy, when I am deploying to the application to Docker, we are getting that.
I think you didn't configure the proper way in a proxies.
Oh, see.
Yeah. So if your application is using any kind of SSL certificates, you need to add the trust stores. Okay, so our application is generated. So let us consignment app. I'm just opening this one also for our UI application. Yeah. So for now, just to put aside of this one, we'll come to this later. And first, let us quickly complete our API. So as I mentioned, first we are going to be developing on a Spring Boot API. So consignment we are going to be developing. I need a 4 fields or 5 fields we will take. So that one is first one is the consignment ID we will take. Consignment status, I mean, who order this consignment and what is the consignment status, that's we can take. And something like how we are, just give me a minute, getting a call from admin team.
Sir, can we expect both of the deployment in the cloud?
Yep. Sorry, question?
Can we expect deployment process in the cloud in this class? Both
No,
applications?
no, it's an in-house deployment only.
Sir, I have one doubt. I have not completed Angular. So can I able to understand this project?
First, you can start there. So put that all the side. You can understand, not understand, put all this side, continue the journey. So then you will get to know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let us dive into the program. So yeah, our build was success. So any questions is there? We are going to be taking once this API is completed, then I'm going to be taking the questions because it's getting a little bit delay. Yeah. So let us first let us design the DTO. I'm just going a very layman way. I'm not going to be following a best practices, all those things, because these best practices, everything I'm going to be discussing in a Spring Boot actual batch, I'm going to be discussing. So here you will get an overview how we are going to be configuring the controller services and all those things. So I'm not following any best practices. I know you people, my previous batch people, so they are again telling, sir, you didn't added the DTO, all those things. Yeah. I agree, but that all in the course we are going to be discussing in depth. Here, just allow me, you have to obey me. So now, so first I'm starting from the backend. So first we need to design the table schema. I'm just going to be taking one DTO I'm taking. So let us take a class. This is the consignment I'm taking. Consignment is nothing but an order. Okay. So I'm converting this as an entity. So persistence, and I will take something called as a private integer I'm taking. So consignment ID I'm taking as the same way. Consignment category. So like electronics or garments or something, I'm taking that one. And I'm taking the delivery partner who is responsible to deliver to this one. So delivery partner I'm taking. That's it. And string consignment status I'm taking. So that's what. So not more than that. So consignment status, whether it is a shipped or in a transient or delivered or returned. So that's where we're going to be saving here. So let us quickly generate source getters and setters. That's it. And when we are working with any ORM tool, definitely we need to take something called as a primary key. We need to take.
Sorry to interrupt. Consignment means one
Order.
order.
Order. Bulk order.
Bulk order.
That's it. So generated value, strategy, identity I'm taking. Yeah. So that's it. And we are done with our consignment. So let us quickly create our new folder. I'm taking a package. So this is something like DAO. So there I'm going to be keeping our repositories. So it's better to move this to this DAO package. Yeah. So here I'm creating a repository. Consignment repository I'm taking. So basically I didn't get I'm just a co-host. Yeah.
Try to mute everybody if possible.
Actually, what happened is I'm a co-host. I don't have that privilege. Let me check. Is it possible? Oh, live stream pause. Okay. Yep. So as because it is a repository, so the best way is I'm taking the currently just a CRUD implement is sufficient. So just I will take a extends CRUD repository. I will take. So consignment, nothing but your entity. Primary key data type is the integer I'm taking, right? So that's it. We have a consignment, and now in our resources we need to add that properties. So let us add that properties. So we need a Spring data.jpa. Can just simply take this. It's a hang. First time it will take it. Spring data source dot. I can just simply take a URL. Okay. So JDBC URL. I will do one thing. I have some backup for this. I will just take that. Okay, so this is the driver class I'm taking, and consignment management, this is the database I'm taking. So first let us create this database. So there I'm going to be taking, sorry, I'm sharing. Suppose if any database is there. Yeah, so let me create a database. Consignment management. So I'm using this database, consignment management, show tables. Currently, we don't have any tables. Great. So now quickly, I'm just starting my application because to check whether it is affected on our schema or not. Your application started. Now you can check. We have a consignment and describe consignment. Yeah, so we have a consignment ID, consignment status, consignment category, spelling mistake, that's okay. Sometimes hota hai. Delivery partner. Yeah, so that's it. And let us quickly, the best practice is we need to create a service and we need to call this repository and we need to create a controller. In the interest of the time, I'm not developing a service. I'm directly going for the controller. Controller itself, I've written the logic. I know that is a crime, but just apology me. So let us create a controller, creating a package for these controllers. So consignment controller I'm creating. So the question, so-called Spring Boot developers who completed just yesterday, REST controller or controller?
REST controller
Okay.
Test controller.
or captain.
REST controllers.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So now I'm taking some kind of a public. So I want to return the list of consignments what I'm having currently. So list of consignments I'm taking. I know we need to use the response and all those things as I mentioned. In the interest of that time, I'm avoiding those best practices, all those things. So consignment. It is imported the wrong list. It has imported utils. Yeah. Consignment. So get all consignments I'm taking. So there return. So let us go for the repository. Consignment repository I'm taking. This is nothing but our repo. I'm just auto wiring. My bad. Auto wired I'm taking. So return repo dot so-called Spring developers. Now it's your turn. Want to return all the entities.
Find all.
Find all.
Find all,
Find
sir.
Find
Find
all you
all,
can
sir.
take. So it is actually returning the iterable. You can just typecast. It's better to take. I think if you take a JPA repository, automatically typecast also, but that's okay. We'll do here itself, no issue. Add typecast. That's it. And I'm adding a get mapping here. Consignments. That's it. Okay. Now I want to place a consignment. So let us keep a bit down, bit left. So I'm taking a public. Is it font size okay? Should I increase?
Yes, sir.
It's okay.
Okay. Little more increase.
Okay. So let us go to the preferences, general appearance, color and font. So,
Control plus plus it increase, no?
that's for a Visual Studio Code here, not here.
In HCS also working, sir. In HCS it's also working in this HCS.
Okay. So here we are going to be adding a, I want to return a consignment after placing a consignment. I'm just returning consignment. So save consignment. So for this, I will take a request body. One consignment object I will take. So that's I'm going to be storing consignment. See how much beautifully we are. Okay. With a single word we can able to perform. So that is the beauty of our Spring Data JPA. So this I'm taking the post mapping.
Hi.
Post mapping and consignment I'm taking. So now similarly, let us take a public. For a put operation also, I'm returning the same consignment. Now take consignment. This I will take as a put mapping. And this I will take a consignment / ID I will take. So this is nothing but our consignment ID. So this I will take a path variable. And in a request body, I will take a consignment. So this is my request body. So here you can just get that and you can update all those things. So, or you can directly save also if something primary ID not changed, then a Spring Data have a capability when you use the JPA repository, it will going to be taking it as because we use the CRUD repository. So we need to get that details and we need to update. So I will do one thing. First, we need to find that one. So report dot
Find by ID.
find by ID I will take.
Or else throw it.
Find by ID or else throw.
Resource.
Just I'm throwing a runtime exception, not more than that. Consignment not found with that ID. That's it. So this is going to be written consignment existing. Okay. So now if definitely we are not giving a chance to update the ID, so then we are not going to be updating the ID. Remaining we are going to be uploading. First of all, I'm just keeping a thing. If existing not equal to null, obviously we need to keep this condition. Why? Because if it is not found, we are throwing an exception. This condition is unnecessary. So I will keep like this. So consignment dot set. Suppose if we change the consignment status, I need to change. So that's how I will keep is consignment dot get consignment status. If not equal to null, then consignment dot get status. Otherwise, existing dot get consignment status. So same way, consignment dot set status, and we are having the category. So get category. And status is done, categories are done, then delivery partner. So suppose because of if you are not giving a proper tips, delivery partner will not going to be accept. So then sometimes we need to change the delivery partners also. That's where we're going to be taking. So basically this is the get. Get delivery partner. That's it. Finally, returning existing only. Why? Because if existing is updated, then only we are confident new data was updated. I'm returning the existing only. So this is for updating a consignment. So let us go to public. If you want to find a particular consignment, you can just implement that one also. Consignment, get consignment by ID. So there, any help? Can I take a get mapping?
Yes.
So this is the consignment. I will take a path param. Can take integer ID. That's it, not more than that. And what I will do is I will directly return report dot I will use this one, find by ID. Same code I will write here. That's it. And finally, I will delete the consignment. I'm intentionally taking the string because I want to show some hacky thing here. This is the most type of error you will get when you are integrating the backend to UI. If it is an object, you will not get an error. Intentionally, I'm taking the string because one of the predefined data type you are returning to the Angular, there is some content negotiation we have to do. So for that, intentionally, I'm returning the string. So delete consignment. So delete mapping I will take. So here, consignment, I'm taking a ID. So this is also path variable. ID I'm taking integer. That's it. And consignment report dot delete by ID I will take ID, which it is just a void. So that's why we will not get anything. So if it is successfully executed, we are going to be returning. Delete by ID return type is a void. You can see, which will not return anything. So if it is somewhere not found, automatically it will going to be throw an exception. So return consignment deleted. If you want to show, you can show ID also. That's it. That's it. Our API is done.
Sorry for the interruption. Update API, we are updating data, existing data. We are not updating existing data.
Good catch. So let me save that. Okay.
And also, we need to set the consistent data.
This 41 line, you should say existing dot set component.
Yes.
Yeah. Good catch.
Sorry,
Okay.
Harsha, can we have patch the difference between?
Not here. This is not the time to discuss. It's a lengthy discussion. I cannot able to introduce here as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So here, yes, our consignment API is ready. So let us restart our application. So now what we will do is, as of now, Spring Boot people involved here. Now, without giving much silence to the Angular people, now we will focus on the Angular. So we have a API. Now we'll go to the Angular. So there we are going to be consuming this API and creating all those things we'll take care. So application is ready. First, let us check is consignment is working or not properly as per our requirement. So I will take a local host 8080/consignment. So let us send 404 consignments. I think 404 still. Maybe some spelling mistake. Consignments. Yeah, currently no consignments. So let us create one consignment. I'm taking the post mapping. So in a post mapping, consignment, that's I'm taking. And here in a body, I need to pass my values. Let us take a JSON. So go there, consignment. Do I need to pass the ID? Definitely no, because that is a
auto-generated.
Yep. So here.
Double quotes.
So consignment category, let us say this is electronics. Delivery partner, e-cart. Consignment status, just placed or ordered. So I'm just sending. Yep, consignment success. You can check in your database also. Select star from consignment. Table does not exist. Spelling mistake. You can just check here. Yep, we got our one order, consignment ID. So as well as, let us try to insert another one also, like garments. This guy is a FedEx. We are not sure that will be delivered or not. Wherever it is in a transient, I mean in traveling. Yep, we got it 2 consignment orders. That is just we created through Backend API. So now we'll go to the Angular. We'll try to consume this API. So how we created an order from the Postman, similarly we'll try to create it from a UI as well. So instead of showing just a boring templates, I will add some kind of a responsive kind of a web design also. That's the reason I'm taking something called as a Bootstrap I'm taking. So let me install npm install Bootstrap I'm taking. Okay, so Bootstrap is installed successfully. Now we'll go to our components. Our code will go. So first let me start our application. I'm starting here and just serve. Yeah. Okay. Localhost 4200. So we just need to remove all these things. App component.html, just remove. So here we need to keep something like a consignment management or something. I'm just keeping this one. Okay, now I need to add a Bootstrap here. To add a Bootstrap or any kind of additional CSS files, 2 ways you can directly give that in index.html, but sometimes if you give index.html, what will happen is, if your browser is a kind of a legacy browser, that web workers will not work properly. That's the reason best suggested way is any kind of a third-party libraries if you are using regarding to your Angular, you need to add in a angular.json. So you can just find angular.json. So that is available here, angular.json. So here they are going to be offering different kind of arrays. So if you are having some kind of external CSS, you can add here. If you are using some kind of external scripts, you can add here. So we need to add a Bootstrap. Bootstrap is nothing but a CSS framework. That CSS framework is come in the part of the CSS file only. So that's you can pick from your node modules. So once you did any kind of npm install, that will directly undergo to the Bootstrap. So here you can just find out the Bootstrap. So here our Bootstrap. So now if you just refresh. Bootstrap. So this is your Bootstrap.
Yep. While installing the Bootstrap, spelling was wrong.
Yeah, now I observe that one. Okay, let us do one thing. Terminal, I will take here npm install Bootstrap. So this is a Bootstrap installed, not a Bootstrap. Yeah, done. Bootstrap. In a dist folder, you are having the CSS. So this is all related to this Bootstrap grids we are having. So just we need a main CSS, that is this one, Bootstrap CSS. We need to attach this one. So I will do one thing, just right click, copy path, not a file, just copy the path, come to here in your CSS file. Don't disturb the existing style.tss because your component CSS, everything load from here only. Don't disturb. This is an array format, keep a comma, and you can give your new path. So this is all don't required. So just to start from the node modules because node modules available in a root itself. So slash save it. So I'm just restarting to reload that one. Yep. Developed. So now if you are seeing this kind of a font means definitely Bootstrap is applied here. So if a Bootstrap is not applied, this kind of a font you will not get. So that's it. And first, it's always better to generate some kind of some header first to generate. So then we are going to be generating some kind of a consignment navigation bar. That's we are going to be generating. So we'll do one thing. I will just take first to consider we are giving some kind of a logo here like that. So I will take some logo like I will take some div. I'm not taking the containers because if I take a container, it is a giving a very least manner. I am not going to take that one. I will develop my own class for this sake. So let us say this is some kind of a logo header I'm taking. So in this logo header, I will just take some span. I will keep this one, consignment management. That's it. And for this logo header, what I will do is in our component.cs. So let me add this logo header class. So there I'm going to be I will apply some kind of a background color, and I'm going some radius I'm going to be increased, not more than that. So let us say some kind of a background color. Let us take some blue. I'll take some kind of RGB. So somehow I just remember one color always I will use this one only, 160 to 104. Yeah, so this color I'm taking, and this I can keep some height. It's always better to open the develop dev tools. So let us keep some height. Let us give a 50 pixel, a bit increase.
Or this color font is not visible, sir.
I will change, no issue. I'm taking the 8 pixel of this one. So here 8 pixel I will take. So now for this, let us say I don't want to apply the color directly to that one. I will take a class for this. So let us take this is some kind of a header content. Class header content. So let us apply some kind of a color. I will take a white.
Font color, sir.
We didn't save this one actually, header content. So if you see, we didn't save. If you save, that will apply. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me increase this font size as well, because this is font size 20 pixel, little bit more. We'll settle down for 40. Looks good. Come on, dear. Looks good or not?
Yes,
bro.
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
sir.
Yes, it is looking good.
Okay. So we'll do one thing. I want to display center. I will use some hacky tick here. I will just keep a auto. Margin auto I will keep. Once I keep a margin auto, then automatically it will come.
Sorry to interrupt. The thing is what the session is going on. Can we get a recording session of this?
365 days it is available on a YouTube. It is already live playing in a YouTube.
Okay, fine.
Ashok IT channel. If you subscribe, you can get that notification.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So to display center, I can just do one thing. Display table I will take. So then that came here. Makes sense. Now this is just a banner, header banner. Now we want to generate some header you need to generate. That is a side header I want to take, like a left side. Here I want to take. So like a generally, if you see any kind of a consignment application, left side and navbar we'll take that navbar, a left side navbar we will take. So with that navbar, we are going to be adding our routers, all those things will develop. So let me create a quick component for that. So ng generate a component. So some header component or
Sidebar.
side nav.
ng generate component.
I'm giving a C, just a C. Side nav we got, and coming to the HTML. So this I'm going to be, let us generate your navbar I'm taking. So if I take directly navbar, go to the top again, we need to do these things. I will take a directly div here. So I will take some div. We apply our custom style simply, because why I'm not mostly use the bootstrap classes is, if you want to apply your custom padding, bootstrap classes will actually show the hell. So that's the reason whenever requirement, I will add the bootstrap classes like buttons, tables. We definitely will use the bootstrap classes, but this kind of a designing, it's better to go for the generic classes or custom classes. So it's always try to create a wrapper. That a good approach. Once you create a wrapper, then inside that you can create your some sidebar. I'm taking some class. I will take some kind of a sidebar class. I will take.
The wrapper spelling is wrong.
That's just a class name, dear. You're not actually taking the wrapper. That's okay. Yeah, so here. So I'm taking the some list. So what I will do is, in this list, I will take a consignment and another list. Let us say I want to display customers as well. So I'm taking the customers or users, your choice. Customers or users, your choice. Whatever you want to mention, you can just mention. So save it. So now I want to display this side navbar. Let us go to the component.ts. Selector is the app side nav. This I will display in our app component.html. So here I'm just displaying app side nav here. That's it. So we got a consignment customers. We'll do one thing. We'll apply some background color. So then it is going to be display some kind of a same background color we will apply. So let us go to the side nav component.html, some CSS. So there we can apply our thing. So we have this wrapper class. Let us go to CSS. Let us do one thing. Anyway, you are having this anchor tag. I want to give some kind of a hrefs for this. In a list, anchor tag I will take. Something I'm going to be giving. Similar way. Anchor tag. Some href I'm taking. So there we got our anchor tags, consignments. I don't want to display this underlines, all those things. Whatever it is having, nowhere I want to display this underlining. I will just take a star. I will just take a star. Star means it is going to apply an entire thing. So what I will do is list style, I will take none. If you keep the none, you are seeing this bullet points that will going to be fade away. Saving, now you can see that bullet points is going to be fade away. That's the reason the list style none I'm keeping. Text to decoration also, I don't want to take anything. So this text decoration purpose is this underlines is going to be vanish. If you are using the anchor tags, that will going to be give that underline. I will just remove that one also. So see, there is no text decoration, no underline. So I will keep some kind of a margin, 0 pixel I will take. And for the time being, just initializing. If we need, then we are going to be changing the padding. And I will just take some kind of a box sizing. In future, we can able to give some kind of a content squeezing, all those things I will give. Activating, deactivating. I will just take a border box I will take. So font family, if you want to take, you can take something. So I will just take there is something I really like this. Open sans, something we are having. This I will take George. Yeah, so this one you can apply this consignment also, same George. In your app component.ts.
This code to Carvana for brand.
Yep, it's applied. So now great, consignment management. Yep. So if you want to give some kind of a, it is actually a little bit top. Padding top 10 pixel. Let us give this padding top 10 pixel. Just I'm showing the middle. So that's it. And coming to the this is side nav, we do have applied this one. So let me apply few interesting things here. So I will just go to where we just mentioned inside the wrapper, we are having the sidebar. Inside the wrapper, there we are having the sidebar class. For that, I want to apply some kind of a background. Just you can apply background. I will take the same which is matching to logo header. So great, it is applied here also, but actually it has to be applied vertically. So there what I will do is, first I will make this position is a fixed. Then I will just mention transition I will take. I will go for clockwise direction up 0.5 second ease I will take. Yeah, this one transition 0.5, this one. Yeah. So as because it's a little bit squeeze, it's a bit of squeeze, it looks like. Let me give some kind of a width, then I can increase. I will go for some 225 pixel. At the same time, I need to give, yeah, that's sufficient. And height, I want to occupy entire thing. There I can take something called as a height. 100% I will take. So then it is going to occupy entire thing, this one. So now It's almost, it's left side. It is almost squeezed. Let me give some kind of a left margin. Some 20 pixel I can give. Oh, we'll change the content. We'll give a 0 only. We'll change the content, or yeah, we'll change the content padding. So there, what I can do is same in a wrapper inside the sidebar. Inside we are having the user list, that is the element, so no dot symbol. Inside the list, that is actually content available in the anchor. That's I'm taking the anchor here. So I will display in a block level, so then I can get that. So it's a better to apply some padding. I will take some 15 pixel top. It is a clockwise direction. From start to it will going to be changed. If you give this top bottom, both it will take 30 pixel left and right. Yeah, looks good for me. So I can just make let us change the color. Some white I'm going to be taking. Consignments. It looks both active. I will do one thing. When it is active, then I will do one thing. Wrapper anchor. If you just over, then moved again, I need to show the green, or not moved, white. I will do one thing. Both I will apply. Hover and not hover also I will apply. Move, not move, both I am taking. So wrapper I can take a sidebar, user list. It is active in a future if it is active. So there, background I will change to white. When we hover, then it is going to be changed. The background white I will change, and color means test I'm applying. So this color I will apply, same color. RGB I will apply. Should match with our header, nothing more than that. That's it. So save it. If I move, this will display like this. For that, anchor hover, that's one. So just a simply CSS. Yeah, our navigation bar is ready and header bar is ready. Now we need to implement our actual business logic. We need to implement. So for that business logic, we need to communicate with the backend API and we need to retrieve all the consignments. So that's for that. What I will do is I will develop one component, ng generate component, consignment component I will generate. Consignment, a component I'm generating. Through this consignment component, we are going to be getting the data. So the best practice is don't go for the generic. If you use the in a TypeScript, as we discussed, we are having the any, all those things we are having. Now I'm going to be introducing something called as a type safeties. Try to create the same kind of a object, whatever the data you are getting, same kind of a object in your UI side as well. So I'm getting these fields. Remember, these fields should match with your TypeScript object property. So for that, you can just take an interface. If you take an interface, that will going to be work as a skeleton of your object. So because interface don't have any implementation, only properties you can use in a TypeScript. So I will create a new file. So what my file name is, consignment model.ts I will take. So this want to take as an interface. Consignment model, I'm taking this an interface. So now I want to like a class or something. If I want to use from this flies to other location, what we need to do? Angular people. Suppose one class I want to use in other file. Exactly. So here this one also you need to export. So let me add the properties. So not this one. So just these are properties. Consignment type is the string. If it is a Java, capital S. If it is a TypeScript, small s. So string. So delivery partner. That's it. So this is a skeleton. So in the future, if you got any kind of a data, we'll directly map that data to this properties. Now we no need to create getting the object, all those things. Directly we'll give this object to the observable. Observable is going to be taken care, mapping that values to here. So let us go to our consignment component. In this consignment component, going to the consignment component. So here we need to improve. Srinivas, go to the mute. I don't know. I'm unable to mute. Srinivas, could you please go on a mute? I didn't get the host privileges. Just give me a minute.
Srinivas Akram Seti, can you please mute
So
your
if
mic?
anything is disturbed, you can drop that guy. So if they are not concentrated, we are going to waste our time.
Srinivas Akram Seti.
Just wait a minute. I'm claiming the host privileges. Because I'm unable to mute that guy. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so this consignment model I'm just taking. So here what we will do is we'll quickly develop a service. So ng generate service. Let us say consignment service.
Harsha, I think you have not shared the screen. Srinivas' screen, I'm able to see.
Srinivas.
No, we are visible in your screen.
Sir, we are visible. It is visible.
So I can just take a consignment. I'm generating the service. I'm just pinging admin. Okay, so service is generated. So let us go to the consignment service. So to get this consignment details, we need a HTTP client module. So that consignment module, we need to import. Just give me a minute.
Harsha, I just called admin to mute everyone, Harsha. You can also inform them.
Yes, yes, I'm doing that.
Sir, please mute this guy.
Hey,
Basically,
Srinivas, please be mute, man. It's wasting our time.
yeah, now I got a host privileges.
Yeah.
So now I will show my rowdyism. Now I can mute everyone. Yeah, so for the time being, I'm muting everyone here. So if you have any questions, you can unmute. So let us export our module. So we need to go to the app module.ts. So there I'm going to be importing HTTP client module. So there import, somehow it is not importing. So let us import manually HTTP client module from that's available in Angular common /HTTP.
Sir, it's HTTP.
Right. Now we'll go to the service, consignment service. So in this consignment service, let us keep HTTP client is a service. Service name is the client. Module name is the client module. So let us import this service also here. It is an inbuilt service. So HTTP client from Angular /common /HTTP. So there. So I'm just giving this variable as a HTTP. Okay.
Hello, sir. Did you share the screen? I can see Harsha Vardhan is the question, and that screen I can see.
I'm sharing, dear. Okay, I will do one thing. I will reshare.
So you are able to see Harsha.
Yeah. Now I can see, right?
Yeah. So now we'll develop one method which will going to be communicated with the backend to retrieve the data. So I'm just taking the public get consignments. Get consignments. So here what I will do is, so we need to, we discussed in earlier discussion, this is the beauty of the observables. We discussed the promise and observable. Promise means a single way, you cannot able to do any other operations. But observable is, we are having some utility operations. Like directly you want to map the data at the time of retrieving the backend to here. So we already discussed in our previous discussion. So promise don't have any utility methods like a mapping, all those things, but observable having that utility methods. So here you can directly use the observable automatically. I'm taking return type as observable. So we'll going to be give our interface name here. So in our interface is what is our interface we created? Consignment model. So that's I'm giving. So now automatically your observable is going to be map what are the data you got, it will map to the consignment. So here returning HTTP, this is nothing but our module HTTP, this is nothing but our service dot get. So there I'm going to be retrieving our consignments. I'm giving this URL, HTTP consignments URL. So this I'm going to be return. So here we need to give observable, we need to give I can give a consignment model. So consignment observable I'm giving. That's it. Sorry.
Harsha, this HTTP localhost till 8080, can you make in separate place so that we can call from here? Like instead of hard coding the URL.
You can keep an environment.ts. You can able to get that one here.
If it will be good if we put right now.
So we'll move. So here I'm just getting these components. Now, if I call this component, it will if I call this get consignments, if I call this get consignments, it is going to be get all my details from your backend. So there I'm going to be getting all the consignments. So this I need to call in a consignment component. So let us go to the consignment component.ts. So in this consignment component.ts, so let us add the constructor. So I'm adding the private consignment service. This is the consignment service I'm taking. So here we're going to be apply some value, a variable we will take. So that variable, let us take a consignments is the variable I'm taking. The type of this variable is consignments. So you can just it will going to be written list of consignments. Backend API returning the list of consignments. That's the reason I will take a list. This a consignment array I'm going to be taking. So list of consignments I will take. So simply consignment models array I will take. List of consignments I will take. So I will just initialize with the empty array. In the future, I'm going to be changing. So I will take a ng on init. At the time of a component initialization itself, I want to communicate with that. So this dot your consignment service dot get a consignments, which will return an observable. We are returning an observable earlier. So if you want to get the data from the observable, if it is a promise, then method. If it is observable, subscribe we are going to be using.
Subscribe.
So which will return our consignments, nothing but it will return our data. So that data, what I will assign is, so this dot consignments is equal to our data. That's it. Now we don't need to map all those things automatically. It is going to be keep all the data. So consignments. Following properties. Okay, so let us is returning this values. Okay, so let us change there also. Consignment model array we will take return type. So consignment model array we will take. Come to here. That's what consignment directly array I'm going to be returning. That's it. So now at the time of this loading, we need to get that one. So now we are ready with our component. Now we need to load the component. So here when I need to load this component is whenever you click this consignment, then I want to load. Because in the future we are applying authentication. When user authenticated, then only I will reveal this navigation. Otherwise, here I will show some kind of a login application. So that's the reason I will add this directly. I will not add this component in a index.html I will add through the router outlet. So let us go to our app routing module.ts. So we need to give some routing. So I will take some kind of a path. Consignments I will take, and a component, consignment component I'm taking. So consignment. So this will go to our app wherever our, this is coming from side nav, right? You can go to your side nav, there side nav component HTML. Do you think using the href is the developing a single page application? If you use the href, what will happen?
Again, it's going to reload.
Resources will be loaded. So then what is the best way?
Router link.
Router link, yes, yes.
Router link you can take. And now I'm just clicking the consignment. So it is loading, but we are unable to show here. Why? Because we need to use the router outlet we need to use. So where we need to use the router outlet is go to your app component.html. From now onwards, wherever we will go to a router, so that's where going to be displaying here. So I will take some kind of a div. So in this div, I will mention router outlet. That's it. So now come to the consignments. So in a consignments .ts, we are getting these consignments. Go to the consignment.html. So here, let us directly display in some table. I'm going to be displaying some kind of a table. So then I can get all the consignments. So I will simply take some kind of a table. So here I'm taking the help of the bootstrap table classes here. I can take a bootstrap table class table. So table head I'm taking. In a table header, we'll display whatever the values we want to display, can just display. So let us take some one table row. In this table row, table header I will take. So let us say first one is the consignment ID I'm displaying, first table header. And second consignment category. And third position, I will display
Delivery partner.
Delivery partner. So consignment category. Consignment status I'm displaying. This is just a header, table header. You just save here. You see, we got our consignment category, delivery partner status, consignment ID. I think it's gone under to that navigation. Let us squeeze this our consignment table. Element is a 0.5 rem padding. Okay, so let me go to the consignment.cs table. What I will do is I will keep a margin auto because it will come to the center. And I will again take your margin top 0, then right auto. Still it not just table with distance. Okay. So let us take for a table, and inside the table you are having the table head. I will take some custom class. I will not rely on a bootstrap. Table custom class I will apply. So go to here. Table custom class I will apply. So here I will just mention something. Or we can do one thing. So anyway, we are going to be displaying there. I will do one thing. So here just I will apply the background color, not more than that. There I will keep a div app component level I am going to be taking care. So I will take this color to match with our header. I will take the same color. Because we are overriding the bootstrap. That important why you are using is if you are using any kind of a CSS, bootstrap is not going to accept your properties. So at any cost, if you want to apply your styling, you can use this bootstrap important. I will just take a white.
Sir, without using CSS, we can use Bootstrap, sir, instead of CSS.
That's we already applying there. Bootstrap we are applying. So can just take here. Can apply the table header. So I want to apply this color. Then where can I get this particular color from the bootstrap? So that's the reason I'm just going there. So this is the table. So if you want to apply some kind of a margin, you can just apply. That's your choice. So now let us go to our app component. First of all, let us retrieve the data. Component.ts. Are you getting the data or not? So let us keep in a console.log. Console.log. Consignments. Let us keep after this. After assigning the consignment, I want to display console. Okay, cross origin. So as we discussed, I mean for these people, Spring Boot people, as we discussed, sometimes origin will not going to be accept. So I will do one thing. I will just simply add a so cross origin for everything. I will going to add star. I will add. So I can just, if I add a star at a controller level, all endpoints it is going to be applied. At cross origins, I will keep a star. It's better to be, because in the future we are going to be need to take some headers also. I'm taking the headers. I will allow the all headers. So that may be request header, authentication header, everything I'm going to be add. So that's it. So let me restart quickly. Okay, so application is started. So let us go to here. So let me just reload. From origin consignment, still consignment repository. We applied here. Let me just refresh.
Sir, it's consignments, but you give consignment in the mapping.
That's just a method name there. That's not good. Here it will make actual work.
So what's that cross origin, Harsha? If you just touch.
So whenever domain name is changed, your backend API is going to be blocked. So localhost 80 consignment from origin. Okay.
In URL, I think it means S consignments.
Spelling is wrong.
Go to the services. So if it's all about the spelling, means it has to give a 404, but it is giving the cross origin.
I think we had to add some extension in the Chrome browser.
That is just to deviate. Wait a minute. First of all, cross origin. Okay. We imported this one, cross origins. Allowed headers, okay. Star I will keep. Okay, application startup was happened. So let me refresh. So
Hello, sir. That URL, can you please check? In the errors, last this endpoints URL
so this one, dear,
is
if you just
mismatching. MENTS.
consignment. Yeah. So let me take this
N
one.
is missing
Wait.
in the STS.
In the STS. So I will keep this star. Let me restart. Can reload. Yeah, so now we got our data. So basically, if you don't have this cross origin, what will happen is, so if your application belonging to other domain, so a domain belongs to schema, nothing but HTTP or HTTPS, and host name, local host something. So that host name plus port number, that is called as a domain name. If any other domain requesting your server for a security, they will going to be ask you. So that will call as a whitelisting the domain names. Suppose if you see I didn't added any cross origin, if I just reload, we got this cross origin because request from this 402,200 is unable to access because your Spring Boot application blocking that one. If you add this cross origin, so just if you reload, you are allowing everyone to consume your API or to whitelist only this particular people can able to access my application, then you can then we are going to be allowing that particular URLs only to access our server data. So that's nothing but whitelisting. So you can just reload now. Now I'm able to get the data. So consignments retrieved. So this data we need to populate here. So come to our component dot app consignment dot HTML. So like this, we can just go to our consignment HTML. Let us take another table body. I'm taking the table body. So in this table body, not a table header. So this will become a table division. So table division. So in this table division, you can just now you are if you carefully observe, you are getting the array of objects. Now you need to iterate that one. So iterate that one. What is the best way?
NG4.
NG?
For
NG4 you can use. So here I want to iterate this store NG4. I will take. Did you remember the syntax? We need some value. So let us say this is a consignment of which variable we need to iterate in a consignment component dot ts. This one consignments we are having. So this we need to iterate. So then the data come to this consignment. So here consignment dot this consignment ID you can keep. Where is that here? consignment ID. So this is nothing but in your consignment model, whatever the property you are having that you need to keep. So consignment category. Consignment category and delivery partner. Consignment status. Sorry. Consignment status. That's it. So now you can just come here. Now you can see consignment category, delivery partner, orders. Consignment ID is actually gone under to the header. So we'll fix that one. So you can fix directly from your app component.html. Here your router is going to be displaying here. You can just create some kind of a class. So let me do one thing. Router output. Just I'm taking the class name as a router output. So go to the app component.ts. So here I'm just going to be applying our classes. So I want to display a little bit middle. So that's where what I can do is this I can do. So I will just take a margin left. 20 pixel. 144. A little bit movement was came. 244. No movement. Oh, not here. Let us. We applied that div. This everything coming from here. So router output. Margin left. So let us say 120 pixel. Yeah, now it is coming a moment. 268 a bit more. So we'll show some. Okay, we'll settle down for 250. We'll show some gap also. Let us show some gap top also. Margin top. So let me take some 250 pixel, not more. 250 pixel. And the right side it is already gone a bit left, so you can directly use margin right. You can use some 40 pixel. Yeah, so this I will apply here. Router output. So that's it. So you can just successfully you are able to communicate with your backend API. You can able to retrieve the details and you can able to display here. So whenever this consignment is there, you are going to be clicking. So there is a customers nothing we configured. So that's here. But if you click the consignment, you can just see. So one thing you need to observe here is if you just click the consignment, see your page is not reloading because you are using the router link. So consignment, your page is not reloading. That's it. Okay. Now you can create some kind of a form and you can, if you want to add a consignment, you can do that post one also. Before that, what I will do is anyway, posting this consignment is also same. If you implement the login form, you will get the overall idea. If I again go to the consignment, creating that consignment form, it's a little bit time taking. So to give a overall exposure, I will implement the login form. In login form, how you are posting the username and password, similarly, you will post these things also. Agree? Instead of developing this consignment form, we'll develop a login form. Then you can see the post mapping of a form as well as you can see the authentication mechanism also.
Okay, sir.
So here what my requirement is, by defaultly, I will launch the login form. Second thing is, when user logged in, then only I want to show this side nav bar. That's only, right? Suppose if once a user logged in, then only he can able to access this consignments and the customers. So if he didn't log it in, I don't want to show this consignment and customers. I don't want to show. So there I'm going to be implementing the authentication. As you people agreed to go for the OAuth 2, I'm going for the OAuth 2. But one thing, dear, if you take any OAuth 2 standard procedure, so it's a standard filters, everything we are having, it will take a bit of time. So I will just take the backup. So there I'm going to be adding all the classes for us. So I will just take this. Let me check any backup I'm having. So here, yeah. So I will take this authentication controller I need, and auth entry, auth token, consignment we don't require, JWT response I need, utils I need, login DTO I need, role defines admin or this one, user, role repository, yes we need, roles we need, user controller we need, for authentication what is the user, and user detail service IMPL, user DTO, yes, user repository, users web security. So this is where we are going to be configuring all our whitelisting endpoints, everything. So I'm just copying this one. So let me paste here. I will create a new package, authentication. So in this package, I will paste all those things.
Okay.
So here, Control H, file search, Control Shift R. Okay. This is the problem. We are having a bit more experience on IntelliJ, so those shortcuts are applying here. Okay, that's fine. And here, content search. I want to replace with this. Yeah. And moreover, okay, we need to add the dependency, Spring Security dependency. So let me take the Spring Security dependency as well. So taking the So just you need this Spring Security and JWT dependencies. These dependencies will actually help you to create your JSON web token, and Spring Security for the authentication, all those things. So security, this one. Those two dependencies we need to add. So let us go to our pom.xml. Yeah, so saving. So just it will not take much time because already our local repository consisting, we worked a lot of times. Great.
After this class, share this.
I will
source.
upload into a repository here. I will share with you. Everyone will get this. Okay. So, yep. So errors was gone. So now here what we need to do is I can just go to our consignment control. So this I will going to be add some can just check in our web filter. In your authentication class, we are having a web filter class. We are having auth entry point to create your authentication. So authentication everything. So our actual configuration is available in your user web security. Here we are going to be configuring everything. So I'm excluding this sign in login URLs. Why? Because let us say signing. What is the meaning of a sign in? First time you are creating an user. Creating the first time user also you are expecting authentication means that doesn't make any sense. So that's the reason that a slash sign in URL I'm excluding. For a slash sign in, you don't require any kind of authentication. So what this slash sign in user will do is, we are having a user controller. We are having the user controller. So authentication controller. In this authentication controller, we are just sign in. We are going to be inserting the user. We created the user repository. We are just inserting the users. So you can just see the user details. What we need is user ID automatically created by the IO, your Hibernate. So username, password, roles you need to give. So roles is a kind of a enum here. If you give the admin, it will set the role as the admin. If you give the user, it will give the user. So that's the reason you need to import some prior to creating a user, you need to import that roles. So that's we have here inserting one role. So let me just quickly restart, then it will create a roles. So as of now, we are having only one consignment. So wait for this application started, then you can see remaining tables. Yeah, so consignment you are having, roles table you are having, user roles, users. User roles is the mapping. So your user to role, what is the mapping? So that's you are having. In this roles table, I want to insert these two roles I want to insert. So one is the user role, second one is the admin role. So inserting the user role as well as admin role. That's it. And you can just check. Select star from roles. Two roles we are having, user role and admin role. Now we are having a user table. So while creating the user, you need to assign what is the roles you required. So let me create a quickly one user from your API. So this sign in is the endpoint which will create a user. So in your body user ID, you can just neglect this one because user ID automatically created by your thing, or you can just give that one also. First user, I can give a user ID one, I can give, and I'm giving some username this one, and the roles user. If you want to give the another, because in a DTO, if you observe, in a user DTO, roles is the set. So set means it is a kind of an array. That's the reason I'm giving in a array format. User is a one of the array. So if I give a user, what it will happen is, in case of a user, it will assign the user role. In case of the admin, it will assign the admin. So let me add both for me. I'm adding the user as well as admin. Both I'm adding. So I'm just posting. So user is created. So this is my ID. So this is my user ID and my name is this one, and the password is this one. And you can just see I have a two roles, admin and a user. If I just select star from users, if I query, so this is my ID, password. If you have that enthusiasm, you can decode this one also. By default, it will going to be encoded. So user ID, username. So password is I given this one, 1 2 3 4 5 6 at the time of creating. So now we have a user. Now I have a user. Now if I try to access this consignment, we need to mention what kind of authentication he need and what kind of authorization we need. So that's how you can do is you can use the annotation at your controller level, or if you're expecting some kind of a particular endpoint level, if you're expecting, you can do that one also. So there is a pre-authorized annotation you are having. With that pre-authorized annotation, you can able to check is this person have that particular role or not. So in our consignment control, where is that consignment control? Okay, in our consignment control, I will just adding at pre-authorize. Before authorize, what I'm checking is if he has a role. This is the default annotation. So you can give that role. So whatever the role you are expecting, that role completely depending upon what you created. So I have a role user, that's okay. I'm giving the role user. If you want to give some kind of another role, put a comma, has role, role admin. So that's you can just give. So then if anyone want to access any of the endpoint in this consignment controller, first they have to authenticate. Not only authentication, they must have an authorization for the user role. So there is a slight difference here. Authentication means just who you are. What is your username? What is your password? That is authentication. Authorization means what you are. Are you an admin? Are you a general user? So do you have any special privileges? That is the what. Simple authentication means what. Authorization means authentication means who you are. Authorization means what you are. What is your ability? What is your capability? That is the authorization. So here, to access this any of the endpoint, it's not just you need authentication, you need authorization also. That's the reason we activated that role user. So now if you see, earlier you are able to easily access this one. Now if you try to send a request, now you are getting something called as, first you are getting the unauthorized you are getting. Why? Because not authentication. So because it is a stateless authentication, you need to first authenticate and you need to get the token, then you need to retrieve. So even here also, if you just refresh your page, now see no data is coming. So in a console, unauthorized 401 unauthorized you are getting. So now I will show how you need to authenticate through Postman. The same work what you did, that you need to replicate through your Angular application. To authenticate, we are having an endpoint in your authentication controller. In your authentication controller, we are having an endpoint. So that is nothing but a login. So in this login, if you send user DTO expecting the username and a password, if you send username and password, and remember this authentication is a post mapping. So if you post your username and password, in a return, it will return a JWT token. So through that token, you can access. So first one is you need to authenticate. So to authenticate, first you need to do a post mapping. So for that, you can just localhost, not a sign in, it's a login. Through it is a post mapping through body JSON. You need to send username and a password. Username, my username is, we created this username and a password. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, I guess so. This one we used. So if these are proper username and password, in a return we'll get a token. So through this token we need to communicate with our API. Suppose if you give some kind of a wrong username or wrong password, if I just post it again 401. So if you first you need to send the request to the login, then in exchange it will return the token. So now how the sequence should be there is, first you need to call the login. On a successful authentication, it will return token. You need to collect this token. Through this token, you can communicate with your any API endpoint. So you need to add this token, you need to add in a response header with a authorization. Why? Because in a authentication, this JWT utils, we are checking is it is authenticated or not. In our authentication header, we are checking. So here you can just see in a parse climb. So signature algorithm is this one. So you can just check in entry point filter. Yeah, authentication filter. In this authentication filter, in a header, in your HTTP request header, is it is consisting of authorization or not, and authorization, and it is having the bearer. So then we are going to be allowing. So in authorization header, we need to pass a token, and this token is going to be read by the resource server. Resource server is internal library of your Spring Security that will going to be check. What it will check is 2 points. It will check here the validity of your token, and the signature, is it signed by us or not, it will check, because you are having the number of tokens, but we need some proof this token was signed by this resource server, this is belong to our application only. That two things will check. How it will check is, first one is, in your application.properties we added two things. So this one, this is our secret. Through this secret, it is going to be signed. Your every token is going to be signed. Second one is expiration. How much one day expiration we kept? This is a milliseconds. So is it token still valid or not? If it is over this time, your token is not valid, and you need to again regenerate the token. These two things it will be generated. So now we got a token. Through this token, we need to communicate with our API. For example, this consignment. So consignment, now we need to access. So to access this consignment, in a body, in a headers, like this, authorization bearer, you need to pass this, and you can send 404, maybe some spelling mistake. So unauthorized. Bearer, and just we generated the token now. Let us copy this token, and I'm keeping here. So if you send, still unauthorized, or did we restart? Okay, let us restart. I just again changed the token. So I'm sending, still unauthorized. So let me check what happening here. Full authentication is required. Full authentication is required means, can go to your consignment controller. It is not applying. Role user is not applying. Something we made a mistake. Pre-authorize. So okay, after this we didn't restart it probably. Let me restart. After adding this annotation, we didn't restart it. I'm just restarting. Every time the token is going to be changed here. Yeah, application is restarted. So now let me rechange the token. If you see, you can go to here. Earlier we are having some BKW in a last sequence. If I just send, now token is changed. Now we got some PLG. Every time your token is going to be changed. So through this token, we can communicate. So here, bearer space, I'm giving this token in authorization header, send. Still it is having error. Consignments. I think we user web security. Yeah. So spelling mistake, consignments. Let us give a consignments, spelling mistake, saving. So let me restart. So here we need to add anything related to the consignments, need to permit all when it is authenticated. We need to add that URL. So because it is restarted, again, you need to generate the token. Server restarted because that token signature is going to be changed. So copy, and here you can just bearer. This is authorization. Can just send. Now it is authenticated successfully. Now we are able to get the data. For example, if you are not sending this authorization, if you just send again 401, you need to, if you want to call this, you need to authorize and you need to get that one. So this work you need to do from the Angular. So this is the sequence. First, you need to send the username and password to the login. On successful authentication, you will get the token. You need to catch the token, and through that token, you need to access that. So apparently, you need to send that whenever you are calling that slash consignments, you need to add the token. So for that, so let us initially implement the login.html. Then we are going to be first to catch the token. Then we are going to be sending to the subsequent request. So did you got the flow? What we need to do?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So let me quickly generate a ng generate component, login component I'm generating. So in this login component, so I will going to be by defaultly, I want to launch that login. So there, what I can do is I can go to the router login component.ts. So this is my app login component. So let us go to routing module.ts. So here, like how you mentioned the path for this path, I'm giving login component I'm just mentioning. By defaultly also I can just mention that login. Or by defaultly will going to be consignments we will go. If user is not logged in, then we'll redirect from consignments, we'll redirect to the login component. So by default also consignment component I'm just going to be loading, and a login we need to manually access. So here, so just if I click app routing module.ts, somewhere we made a mistake. We missed the comma here. So by default a consignment. So if I just click login, so we are login components is actually coming here. So in this position, we need to create a login form. So let us go to the login component.html. So now let us quickly generate a form. So I will take a quickly form because already 11:30. So I will just take this form. So simple form I will take. So let me add those CSS also. So what are the CSS we added? So you can just add that CSS also. Login form.css. Yeah. So it is telling an error ng form. Why it is giving this one? Because
login method we have not.
First we didn't added a form module. So come here, add a forms module. So here I'm going for the it's a simple application. I'm going for the template driven forms, not a reactive form. So that's the reason. If it is a reactive form, we need to add a reactive forms module. So that's it. And let us login method. I think in a login component.ts, we can just go there. I'm going to be copy paste here. Simply what I'm doing is we need to retrieve the token. For that, let us generate a first login service. In a service, we'll communicate with the backend and we need to get that one. ng generate component service. Let us generate a login service. Login service we are generating. So this is our login service. In this login service, what I will do is I will going to be communicate with the backend API and I'm going to be get that authentication token. So for that, I will take some private. So HTTP, let me import a HTTP client. So here, login. For this login also, it's better to take a DTO. So I mean that a model object. So I will take a login model like that. Login model dot ts I will take. Can just make interface. Login model or login payload your choice. I'm exporting this one. We needed two things, that is a username and password for authentication. So this username and password must match. So that's I'm passing here. So this is a string and password is also string. That's it. And in service, come to our login service.ts. So if you want to access this, I need this login model. Let us say this is the payload. Now, let me import. Now, what I will do is I will return. So I will take this some observable here also. Just some string observable I will take. Or if you want to create some kind of a token, that's kind of a stuff, you can take that one also. Or we'll create a token model also, because we need to climb that authentication, all those things. It's better to create. I will take some new file. JWT model I'm creating. So export interface JWT model. So we'll get some response while creating the token. I will going to be catch that response here. So token definitely we need. In your login model.ts, remove these properties. Double quotes we suppose not to keep because those are the properties. So this is not the token we need. This is just a string, and ID not required. So username we need to collect. So this is a string type. Okay. So for the time being, we don't have any that thing. Anyway, backend we are handling that one. So for the time being, I'm not just use a token and username is sufficient. So that's it. And here JWT model is there. Now again back to service. So here return type, I will take a observable with a type of token model. Token JWT model. JWT. What is that? JWT model. Export interface. No suggestion. Where we created this JWT model? Here only. Export interface. Spelling mistake. So JWT model available in your login service. I don't know why it is not coming. Import JWT model from JWT model. We are having this login service. Oh, extension there. We missed the extension. .ts we didn't get. That's the problem. That's the reason it is unable to find JWT model. Yeah, extension. And let us return this dot http dot username and password. What is the method? Get or post or put or delete?
Post.
Post. So this post take two things here. first parameter is the URL. So whichever the URL you want to consume, so first parameter is the URL. Second parameter is nothing but whatever the properties you want to pass, like if you want to pass some kind of a header, or if you want to pass some kind of a request data, so whatever you want to pass, so that you can pass to the second parameter. So there's a two arguments we are having. So with that two arguments, you can able to pass your data. So here what I will do is, while posting, so first one is I need to take a URL. Second one is that data. What are the data you want to pass? Data is nothing but our payload. So in URL, this one, login URL. So that's I'm just going to be calling here. So the error because we didn't define the declare type. That's it. So now this login method we need to call in our login component. So in this login component, so I will remove this. I just created a method, login service. I'm importing the router because programmatically once it is success, I need to navigate to some other location. I will just take this one, router. Yeah. So just a login method I'm taking. So in this login method, so we are assuming you are going to be passing your credentials, nothing but a username and password. So here, this dot login service dot login method. So whatever the credentials you pass, that credentials I'm going to be take. So this is actually observable. So that's the reason subscribe I'm going to be taking. So here we'll do one thing. So if it is a login success, we're going to be redirect to the consignment.details. If it is a failure, I will show some kind of a some kind of a notification will going to be show. So that's the reason. If it is a success, we'll get some kind of a token. So I'm taking a variable like a token. Success, I will do this task. Success, I will do this task. Suppose if I got some error, I will do this task. So handling the success scenario, handling the failure scenario. In a success scenario, what we need to do is, so once we got a token, so let us say this is some kind of a data. So from this data, we'll get a token. That token I'm going to be storing into some variable. So this variable, what I will do is, I will store into a browser local storage. Instead of every time hitting this login service, we'll store in a browser local storage. So I will take a local storage dot set item. JWT I will keep. There I will keep a auth token. That's it. So if it is an error, I will take some error. Yeah. So error, what we will do, we are taking this variable. So I will just make this variable as a false. This dot logged is logged. I will make a false. We'll use this to display the notification. So we have this one, and now we are going to be HTML. In HTML is logged by based upon this. Yeah, we are going to be showing this alert. Beautiful. So now let us go here. So we got the username and password field. So here you can see just login form is the ID, ng form is our directive, Angular directive. We are calling the login method. Login method in your component we are going to be calling, that is going to be call your service login. If everything success, we'll get a token, otherwise we'll get a failure. So can just check in your login component.ts. Here also what I will do is, once user logged in, then only I want to show this one. So in one way we can validate. We are going to be, once everything is success, we are going to be storing in a local storage.set item. So I will go to the app component.html. App component.html. So this is side nav. What I will do is, I will keep in some div in our app component.ts. Let me check at the time of the component loading itself, ng on in it. I will check get item of a JWT. If this if you have this get item of JWT, let me assign to this is logged in. I'm just taking this one. I will take any. So I will just directly keep. If it is not undefined, this dot is logged in, I will keep it true. I will keep it true. So whenever is logged in, when user is logged in, then only I will display this site now. So store ng if is logged in, then only I will display. So now, as of now, I didn't log in. So that's the reason I'm not showing any kind of a site now. So now let us validate. So I'm giving some kind of a wrong username and password. Submit, login failed. For our unauthorized, we got an error. So login failed. So we're just showing this one. Now let us try to give. I'm giving some proper username. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I click a submit. So still unauthorized. Let me check what's wrong here. Go to the login component.ts, local storage. Okay, basically what we are doing is we are logging in, but we are not doing anything. In a local storage, you got a token. So if you just check console.log auth token, can just because the token is not removed, so that's why then you are again seeing this one. So ng on init, you need to refresh that one also. And logged in, you need to refresh. Okay, so there we need to add some logout also. We'll do that one, so that you can just see in your memory there is a in your application here in local storage, local 4200, your token is stored here. So that's the reason it is showing this consignment. If you clear, if you just reload, there is a no token now. So now I will go to the console. If I give some kind of a wrong username, success. If I give some kind of a, let us say, Harsha and some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Login success, that's as in we got a token. So after login success, we are not doing anything here. So instead of just storing this, what I can do is now we'll take the help of the route dot navigate. So we're going to be navigate to the consignment. That whatever the router URL you mentioned, that consignment. So go to the appcom your routing module.ts. So you can go to the consignments. So in login component.ts, navigating here. That's it. So I'm just navigating that. So here we need to, if our login success, so suppose Harsha and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If a login success, we came here. But one thing is, we came here, but we didn't passing the token again to this. So we need to construct the HTTP header like this. How authorization you need to access this consignment. To access this consignments, we need to create this authorization bearer. So let us go to our consignment component.ts. Not here. We're going to be, yeah. So it is going to be calling the get consignments. So here, while calling this, I'm going to be pass our headers were going to be passed. So for that, let us build our header. First, let me get the token. So let token. So just getting this JWT token from local storage. So this is the get item here. Sorry, get item. So this token, how we need to pass, we need to construct a HTTP header with the authorization key and your value is the bearer. So for that, we are having one inbuilt class in Angular, that is a HTTP headers. So let us create a new HTTP headers. So this will take a key value pairs. So setting what the header you need, you can just keep here. So I need a header authorization header I need. So that's I'm keeping, and the value, what value is, I need to add a bearer space, I need to add this token. That's it. So once I built my header, let me store into some variable. So I'm just storing into some kind of headers. So this headers you need to pass, you need to pass in the form of the object. This is the array of object. You can just take this, pass like this, that's sufficient. So save it. So now go here. So now see, it is retrieved from there and it is able to get that one. Suppose if you just go to the network, in your application, here you can see your JWT token is there, local storage. If you just clear, you cannot able to access this one. So here also you need to check, keep that one. So for example, in a consignment component.ts, you can add one check here. You can add, you can take the help of the router. If it is not logged in, redirect to the login page. So you can just take a private router. I'm going to be taking router I need. So here what I will do is, so if it is the data, so it is a success one. So at the time of a loading, if I got some error, I'm loading the, if I got some kind of a consignment error, so there what I will do is, which is means I got some kind of 401 unauthorization. So then I'm going to be router dot navigate login. By defaultly, I'm navigating to the login. So navigate to login. So you need to give outside. Suppose if you got any kind of error, which means you are not logged in, I'm just redirecting to the login page. So now see, automatically redirect to the login page. If it is a actively login, then only we are going to be showing. So similarly, we'll do one thing. We'll quickly implement the logout also. Logout means you just need to remove that clear storage. So just if you implement that logout, that's it. So you can just happily showcase the full-fledged application you can develop. So what I will do is, I will just simply take this one logout button here, right topmost corner. Quickly I will develop one logout button. So then I can show how we are going to be logouting. So can we quickly develop that one?
Yeah.
Yes.
So simply what I will do is, so here you can go to, so one thing you need to observe here, the login app is coming here, and once the data is loaded, that table is going to displaying here. That is the beauty of the component based design. So you no need to restructure every time. So that the router outlet is going to be loaded in that particular section. That is the components. You develop a login component, you develop a consignment component. So login success, consignment is going to be loading that particular page. So that's how the big web pages you are going to be splitting as a components you are going to be generating. So that is the more convenient mechanism behind your Angular. So let us go to our app component.html. So in your app component.html, so like how they have is logged in. So now I want to generate app side now, content management. Here it is coming. So here let me add that logout button. So I will take another span. Here I will take a button. I will take logout. I'm taking. So one button I will take. This is the logout button. Oh no, This is a too big. So we're going to apply some class. I will take a bootstrap class. I can take a bootstrap class btn. So some btn primary means it is going to be give. I will take a btn outline. I will take. Yeah, small button. Yeah. So now if I move to here, it will actually showcase. So let us say header content one I will take. Component.css. I'm adding a new header content here. So I want to move that to a bit up. So there I can simply do one thing. Same margin, right, everything I can take. This one I will, if I increase a bit more this height, so let me increase like this, logout. Yeah, so 115 pixel I will keep. Height 8 pixel to 114 pixel I will keep. And simply float left I will keep. Float left I will keep. Header content one. Sorry, we need a right. We move to right. Sorry. So right. Yeah. So it's a two adjacent. Let me add some margin right. But 20 pixel I'm going to be adding, or you can keep some 50 pixel. Float right. This I'm keeping. In your header component saving. So this is your logout. So in your app component.ts, simply what you can do is you can create a method, logout method. Simply you can local storage dot clear. That's it, not more than that. So you can just clear that login. That's sufficient. And after this, you need to use login false. You need to keep. Otherwise, that header bar is still going to be displayed. So I'm just keeping into a false. That's it. So after that, you remove that one, and you need to load the login page. So this dot. Let us again take a help the constructor with the router. Private router I'm taking. So after this route dot navigate, you can just navigate to login. That's it. So now if I just come here, so logout coming to here. Yeah. So now let us check. For example, I given some kind of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 proper valid login. Login was loaded. Header is not loaded. It is logged in, but header is not loaded. Why? Because here you need to use the component life cycles. But one thing I will do. So consignment. So we are navigating to the login, and after login successful, login component.ts, we are coming here is logged in false, we are keeping. And here again, we need to keep login success, we need to keep here true. Login true, we need to keep. Then you can see that component also. Login true, then you can. Sorry.
Can't we go for navigate by URL?
Navigate by
URL. There you are using navigate something, some method there.
right
For navigating.
So here you can pass the request param also, no issue. Through request param also, you can able to exchange that one. So that's what. So here it's a logged in, and we are able to see our details. So customers, we don't have anything. So that's still it is same loading. So consignments, the details is going to be loading. So if we log out, nothing is happening. Why? Because in our app component.ts, we didn't call the logout button we just mentioned. So here, just simply click logout. That's it. So now I'm just reloading. Yeah, so logout. Data was done. And even if you try to access also, oh, it's not clearing. Local storage, come to the component.ts. Login, no, not login, app component.t routing here. Local clear is a method here. You missed this one. Yeah. So now consignments is there, log out. So now see, even if I come to some URL also, it will not allow because we didn't log in. How many times if you re-log in or if you give the consignment also, it will again come to the login. So again, we need to check all those things. So this is what authentication with the OAuth 2. And if something wrong username and password, authentication is a failed. If you give a proper username and password, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, can able to get these details. You can just use some kind of a refresh, then automatically it will load. So you can just add some kind of a Windows.reload. I can do one thing at the time of the login. I can just do a quick refresh. So is logged in true. Before moving, we need to keep. And window.location. Just I'm going to be reload. I can keep. Now you can see. So I'm log out. So it is a no token. So that's I cannot able to get. So logging in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Submit. So is actually removed. So user logged in false, some error we got. Consignments already it mentioned the false, then we need to keep logged in true after set item. Yeah, log out. Yeah. So if you give some kind of any abnormal URL also, you are going to be reloading this one. So now you can log in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can just check. So this header, you can use the component life cycles, just you can reload. It will automatically reload. So that's what the starting itself I told. It's all about depends upon that time. So customers is depending the same way you can like how you are going to be posting the username and password to the API. You can just take some post method. You can create the consignments, all those things also. So here, this is a full-fledged application from UI to backend. So we are going to be getting the data and we are having the authentication and we are making all those things. So yeah, I agree. So a little bit long. I already seen a lot of people dropped, but I really appreciate your patience. And meanwhile, we got some entertainment also. Srinivas Akkam giving a lot of entertainment us. That's a different thing. But thank you so much. And a small announcement, October first week, we are having the both batches, Spring Boot batch you are having, Angular batch you are having. So if at all you are interested, we are already given some kind of information in a chat box. You can just go to that WhatsApp link. You can get all the notifications. So whatever we discussed in a high level, each and every concepts in depth we are going to be discussing there. Like Angular minimum it will take 45 to 50 days to year. For Spring Boot and microservices, 60 days is a grace period. So sometimes it will extend also, minimum 60 days. Why? Because we are just assuming you don't have any idea with the Spring. So we'll start from the Spring. Just the basics. What you need to learn the Spring is you need core Java, little bit explorance about the JDBC, because how you are going to be inserting the data, how you are going to retrieving the data, little bit experience with the JDBC. What is what servlet? Even if you don't know also, anyway, I'm going to be giving some kind of a little bit exposure, all those that. Yes, Ramkrishna.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm very happy to attend this workshop, sir. Really, it's like helpful for us. Like everything you have completed within the short period of time. It's really great. So, if possible now, can you share this code to us so that we'll see that?
Right, I will share it here. No issue on that. So generally we will
Yes, sir.
maintain
Yeah.
that.
Thanks, Harsha. Thanks for your inputs. Thanks for your great explanation.
Thank you.
Actually,
Yes, sir.
I'm
Thank you so
also
much.
waiting for your sample code. Can you please share that?
Yes, yes.
Even front end as well as the backend both.
So usually we will upload into this.
Yeah.
Or I can do one thing. GitHub creation, it will take a minute.
Sorry, share the link URL, GitHub URL.
I will.
Are you taking any real-time project classes?
A real-time project taken care by the Ashok is dealing.
Yeah, Ashok sir also taking. Are you taking?
No, currently I don't have that much feasibility.
Okay.
UI.
Sir, any way to add any JWT example here helpful for that?
And the JWT, we worked with the JWT only, right?
Any Spring Boot like some separate JWT example.
Separate JWT means I didn't get you.
I think sir, separate security classes.
In a Spring Boot we are covering there. In Spring Boot we are having this entire thing. In a Spring Boot with microservices, Spring Boot microservices, Spring Data, Spring Cloud, and Spring Security. There we are going to be extensively covering the JWT, basic authentication as well as JWT authentication we are covering there. I uploaded that zip here. You can just everyone look into that.
Can you please share that link?
Not the link. I uploaded the zip in the chat box. You can see.
Yeah, sir. I downloaded.
So that code I uploaded in the chat box. GitHub, I'm facing a issue. I need to relog in all those things.
Minute.
No worries. You can call the Ashok IT admin. Anyway, I'm going to be sharing into the Ashok IT repository. So they also share with you. No issue on that. If you are able to download now, that's okay. If you are unable to download, you can call the Ashok IT team. They will share with you.
Sharing our Angular.
It's a front-end code only, you're saying?
Both the code.
Both. If you extract that, Weekend Batch Bootcamp.
Actually, I'm 1 minute. I am logging through mobile. Is it possible to download in mobile?
Yeah, you can download one. No issue.
With other app.
You have uploaded in our Angular repository?
Yes, yes.
not able to see.
Sir, I got it.
No, not Angular repository. I shared in a chat box here. In a chart, you can see, you can download that weekendbootcamp.zip.
Okay. Both the IT are there, na? Angular
Yes.
and
Yes. Or I can do one thing.
Sir, I have a 8-year gap in IT career. Hello,
Okay.
sir.
Yes.
8 years gap in IT career. I have a 2.5 years experience in Java. I know Spring Boot and Angular. Can I serve in IT career?
No issue here.
Okay. That's why actually I learned only AWS also.
It's all about the industry requirement. Forever industry need a Java.
Okay.
उसमें लगाओ तुम चार्ज
Okay, so
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for valuable information.
So one more question.
Aksha, I have one
What
question.
about
Can you
things?
please make a same as a React.js also?
Sorry.
So,
Yeah.
can you please plan for the same as a React.js workshop also, along with
Yeah, we are in a plan. Maybe in October 2nd week we are having the React combination. Same Spring, but UI React.
same spring but UI
UI is the
next
React.
week.
Sir, can you
October
please
2nd.
Sorry.
October
can
2nd is the second React.
Second week.
Second week. Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, can please share URL? I was joined through the YouTube.
Okay.
here also we are getting the problem.
No worries there. If anyone unable to download, you can directly connect with Ashok IT admin team. So you can just call if you ask for Harsha sir workshop. So they are going to be sharing with you. Already this code I shared with a teachable platform with Ashok IT team. So
One
they're
minute.
going to share
I'm going to join. 1 minute, Arisha. 1 minute. I'm going to join. Three.
Kiran, do one thing. Kiran, right?
Yes.
Kiran. You can just check a message.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whether AI will replace this all this Java, everything, what you're thinking about AI, sir?
Recording in progress.
Can you please resend again?